Today we're gonna blast shoulders and arms with bands at home. I got 7 exercises. We're doing 3 shoulder exercises, 2 bicep exercises, and 2 tricep exercises to get you pumped up and growing this top end. First up, we're gonna do a seated overhead press using a 41-inch resistance band, and I'm going to be using my favorite resistance band bar for this exercise, the Clench Nexus Pro Bar. I like this one because it's nice and long, and I can string the band here between the 2 hooks, and then I just have to step into it, keeping 1/2 pinned to the bar. So I'm gonna basically put 1/2 under my backside, sit down on a bench, and you can have the angle kind of, you want it to be close to vertical. I like having just like a little bit of a decline, maybe like 10 degrees, 15 degrees from vertical, just because it feels best for me. And then when you're grabbing onto this, I get about a shoulder width grip on the bar. And what's nice about this is I can get it up into position before the tension comes on. And now it's nice and wide. Keep good form here. Exhale, big squeeze, squeezing those shoulders on the top. Bring it down, control it. Little pause at the bottom here. You don't want to go lower than your nose. Exhale on the way up, big squeeze, control it on the way down. We're doing 4 sets here of 8 to 12 reps. Next up, we're gonna hit side delts with some lateral raises, and my favorite tools to make these lateral raises with bands feel the best and give you the best efficiency in between sets is to use a pair of Clench band handles so we can take up slack and make it super comfortable on our hands and on our arms, and then using the Clench foot plate to give ourselves a place to anchor these bands to. And like I said, you can anchor multiple bands here so that you can easily switch between sets and keep it very efficient. The way I like to set this up, I basically pop one handle in, and then I reach through and pull the other band right through the center of the first band, pop it into my handle. And now if you need more tension at the bottom, you can wrap the band around the handle an extra time to give you a little bit more tension. For me, I don't really need that. And what we're doing here, it's all about control. So we're not gonna be using momentum to throw these up. We are working only on our delts here. So we're only gonna be pivoting on this humerus bone around that shoulder joint. So I want you to get a nice fixed position, vertical, lock in that core tight. And now we're gonna exhale on the way up. Big squeeze, driving with our elbows. Get those elbows up as high as you can. Control it on the way down, nice and slow. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. And we're just doing these nice and slow. We're doing 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. And what I want you to do is on that first set, it's kind of like a warm up. Try to hit that 15 rep range, nice and controlled. Next set, you're gonna bump that resistance up. Doing that again, it's super easy. You can stack bands together or just bump up to the next largest band. And that's what I want you to be doing. So for the next set, you add resistance, and then for your last set, try to add resistance one more time and make that your working set. Next up, we're gonna hit some rear delts with banded pull aparts. So all you need for this is a single resistance band. You might need to start out light because your rear delts are a little bit weaker than all the rest of the shoulder muscles. And it's very simple. You're gonna grab this band. We're gonna do an underhand grip here so we can get a little bit more external rotation and really work on some of those rotator cuff muscles as well as the rear delts. And what we're doing, 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps, shoulder width grip. You wanna have enough band in between your hands so that you can stretch all the way out to the side, keeping your arms straight, chest up, nice and controlled. Pause it, big squeeze at the top, squeezing those scapulas together. So in the back, you wanna be able to pull those scapulas together like you're squeezing a hot dog in between your shoulder blades. Big squeeze. Let it down nice and slow, and then I want you bumping up that tension on each set. So you can start maybe by grabbing half of the band, and if you're strong enough, you might be able to grab the whole band and pull that baby apart, or you can jump up and down in band size as needed. Next up, we're hitting biceps. We're gonna do some standing strict bicep curls. And one of my favorite tools for this is the Clench Carbon Pro Bar. It's a super lightweight attachment, and you can do bilateral curls with this thing, and it just feels super awesome. Another cool thing about this bar is that I can stack multiple bands inside of it to make it easy to jump up and down in resistance between sets. So to set this up, I'm gonna start with the purple band only, standing on half of the purple band, get a shoulder width stance, and then I'm gonna lean up against the wall here, putting my back flat against the wall, and that is gonna keep all the momentum out of this exercise. So typically, you see people when it gets tough, they start swinging and throwing this up there. Well, that's gonna basically kill half of your gains because you're cheating the rep. When you put your back up against the wall, you cannot swing and there's no cheating. So we're gonna pin our elbows into our side, start with good tension here. If you need more tension, you can always use the Clench foot plate to take up some more slack on the bottom. And doing this exercise is super easy. Pin our elbows into our side, exhale, control it all the way up, big squeeze. You're gonna get peak resistance at the top. Control it all the way down. Exhale on the way up, big squeeze, control it down. And that's our first set. We're doing 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps here. For the second set, what I'm gonna do is I can use both bands now, stack them together, stand on both the red and the purple. Now I got more resistance for my second set. Boom. Now we're getting into this curls. And just keep doing that all the way through your sets until your top set, the working set, that should be where you use all the resistance you can muster for a good 10 reps. Next up, bicep exercise number 2. We're gonna do some hammer curls, cross body hammer curls. So what you're gonna need, single 41-inch band, low anchor point, and then you can either just grab onto the band with your hand, leave a little bit of the tail sticking out, which this is my preferred method actually. You can also use the Clench band handle if you need some more comfort on your hands, like if the bands are digging into your hands and you don't like it, you can just hook the band right around the neck of the handle and do this exercise. Like I said, my favorite way to do this is just grabbing onto the band. I feel like the tension, having it closer to your wrist is better in this case, but either way, it'll work. So grab some band, take a step away from that anchor point, and then we're gonna be pulling this elbow into our side, getting tension. So now that's basically, that band is stretching this elbow joint into that fully extended position, the biceps fully lengthened, and we're gonna pin that into our side, and then we're gonna do some curls. Bringing it up, basically your thumb should come right up to your pec, big squeeze, let it down nice and slow, and now your elbow's gonna wanna start drifting outwards. You're gonna wanna keep that baby tucked in tight the whole time and keep this form nice and fixed so that we're getting some good bicep and brachialis engagement here. Big squeeze, control it on the way down, and we're gonna be doing 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps here per side. So once you get done with this side, you gotta switch and do the other arm, of course. And it's a pretty good exercise that's gonna help fill out that bicep. So you're gonna get that brachialis engaged, and it's just gonna give it some more thickness and depth. Next up, let's move into triceps. We're gonna hit some standing overhead tricep extensions, and the tools that I'm going to use for this are the Clench Carbon Pro Bar with a single 41-inch band, and I'm using the Clench foot plate. And now I have this band offset to this channel on the outside so that I can step under it and then get the band behind me. One little trick here is when you're loading this up, you're gonna wanna tuck your hands behind the band so that when we get into the position here, it'll end up right where we want it. And then we're gonna have a close grip here. So try to get your grip as close as possible, get everything nice and balanced, and then step onto the board, get this thing up overhead. Now the band is right in the right spot for us. And now I'm gonna step onto the other side of the foot plate so that this band is even further, pulling it kind of down and behind our head. And now we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12, keeping those elbows, trying to force them together. Full flexion, big extension, keeping those elbows together, controlling it all the way down. Exhale, big squeeze. And this is just a grinder of an exercise that'll just pump those triceps right up. Then when you're done, just bring it down in front. Last exercise, we're doing triceps. We're also gonna bring in some front delts and chest with this. We're doing close grip banded push-ups. Now, you may not be able to do a band, so just start with whatever works for you. Like you can do push-ups on your knees with just your body weight and then work your way into a band. But eventually, I want you to get into this banded push-up because it just feels so good, and it's just a blaster for your triceps, chest, front delts. Setting it up, super easy. Grab this band. I tuck it in kind of right where my thumbs go, and then I'm gonna bring it up as high as I can into the small of my back, just below my shoulder blades. Get down into your push-up stance. Now we're going close grip, so kind of get as close as you can together, and then we're in our push-up stance, all the way down to the floor. Hold that stretch at the bottom a little bit. Exhale, big squeeze at the top. If you can hold it at the top for a little bit, that's also good. Control it on the way down. Exhale, big squeeze. And it's all about control, just controlling these reps and feeling it deep inside your muscles. We're doing 3 sets to failure. All right, there you go. I hope your shoulders and triceps and biceps are just pumped to the max, like you can't even touch your head when you go to take a shower afterwards. That's always my little success tip. If that happens, you know you had a good workout. Also, if you liked what you saw today, be sure to smash that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, more workouts, more resistance band content, check out the on-screen video links. We have tons of content on this channel for you. And of course, if you need any of the resistance bands or accessories that we showed today, head over to clenchfitness.com. We will hook you up. There's even a little coupon code in the description below if you need it. Furthermore, thank you so much for watching.